Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you get over to jerichogreen.net. Get that $3.99 monthly sub and exclusive videos I do once a week that you will only find on my website. Gone geek. So, folks, the world is literally becoming unhinged. Supply chains are breaking down and the critical shortages are showing up left and right. People can sense that the other shoe is about to drop. They're ordering emergency food like crazy, which means you should too before you can't get any. I'm talking about the high quality emergency food you get from My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's leading preparedness company and they've served millions of American families. Now they want to help you by giving you $100 off their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. This food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. And the meals in this kit have an average of 2,000 calories per day. So don't wait. Go to preparewithjericho.com and claim your 3-month emergency food kit while you still can. You'll save $100 per kit if you act now. That's preparewithjericho.com. There continues to be a surge of orders. Make sure yours is one of them. Preparewithjericho.com. Now, before I continue, I got to give a special shout out. And I don't think I've done this before, but I should have. So my birthday's coming up next week, and right on time, right on cue, I get a birthday card from my 4th grade teacher. Shout out to Mrs. Paget. She was probably my toughest teacher, but she's my favorite teacher. And let me know in the comment section, anybody, if you have a favorite teacher of yours, a teacher that made an impact on you, a teacher that still keeps in touch with you. I was in 4th grade in 1989. This woman sends me a card every year. There were times when I was in the service when I was 10,000 miles away from America, and her birthday cards found me. She was a wonderful teacher. Like I said, she was tough. She didn't take no shit. By today's standards, oh my goodness, this lady would be doxxed and thrown out on her heels out in the street for being so mean to these little kids. I seriously doubt that my 4th grade teacher would have taken part in any of this boys can go pee in that bathroom and all this other weird shit going on. No wonder she probably retired before all this shit happened, but shout out to her. I appreciate it. And I was just wondering, guys, I want to ask you guys a few questions, okay? And I think I might know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So, first of all, Biden is pervertus. Our grandpa in chief, Mr. Hey, this isn't the mall. Bring me that group of 8-year-olds. Those heads need to be sniffed. That fool. So, of course, you know, he was over during the G20 bullshit. I mean, the G20 summit where all these countries get together and talk about shit they can't affect, like climate change. And not only did this idiot fall asleep, go on my, I'll put a link here too, but if you go on my Instagram page at JG Talk, there's a picture of this fool, eyes closed, asleep. So, I want to know this. Hold on a second, there we go. So, if you, let's say the doctor calls you in and the doctor says, you have cancer. It's very aggressive cancer, but I think we can come up with a plan of attack to fight this cancer, get you back to your life so you can live out the rest of it in health and happiness. Okay, sounds good. So what we're going to do is going to get the top urologists and doctors that know anything about this. We're going to get them together in one big room, and we're going to sit down and talk about how we can fight this cancer and keep you alive. Would you fall asleep during the meeting? Let's say a lot of people have dogs. I grew up with dogs. Love them. They're a part of the family. Let's say you've had a dog for 10 years. That's your boy or that's your girl, whatever. They go where you go. They're your friend, your companion. And the vet says, I'm sorry, but Fido here has cancer. But you know what? there's a way that we could possibly fight it. What we're going to do is we're going to get the top vets around the world from all the countries, and we're going to put them in one room, and we're going to put our minds together to come up with the plan of attack so we can keep Fido alive for another 10 years. You're going to fall asleep during that meeting? Probably not. But this fool did. Butterscotch pudding coming out of his mouth and everything, and the mainstream mediocres ain't saying shit. Because they told us, Biden is perverted, his administration, even multiple members of the Democrat Party, insert shitty name here, they've all told us that climate change is what? An existential threat. Now, existential threat means that it is a threat to your existence. If you don't take care of it, you are going to die. It will destroy you. We can file that under important, right? That's a pretty important thing, to save the earth. How many movies have we seen where they need to save the earth? A meteor's coming or something. We got to save this planet. Okay? So existential threat, climate change, let's get together and do something. Is that fool asleep? We're here meeting about an existential threat. It will destroy humanity across the globe. Globe. And this fool is asleep. Excuse me. So, that means one of two things. Either he is not fit for his job, he is too damn old, and he cannot stay awake through some of the most important meetings in human history, or they're lying. And there's no reason for him to stay awake because it's all a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to go with option B. And you know what else? You know what else this fool did? He went up there and apologized. He apologized to the world for Trump pulling out of the Paris Accord. Number one, we owe no one an apology. This shit ain't even real. This is like apologizing for something you posted on Twitter. That's not real. It's not a real place. This isn't a real thing. So what are you apologizing for except further making us look like a bunch of Ken doll crotch pussies? What's a Ken doll crotch? Remember the Ken doll Barbie's boyfriend? What did he have in his crotch? I know you took his clothes off when you were a kid. I did too. Nothing smooth. Nothing there. That's what that makes us look like when you apologize for some bullshit. Do you know who we are? They should be apologizing to us. They should be thanking us. You should be walking on rose petals when we show up to these countries because we make it possible. You ever seen the military numbers, the equipment, the numbers of equipment that some of these countries have? Oh, that's right. They don't have the equipment. It's our equipment. Speaking of military equipment, I've never said that word so many times in my life. But I went to the air show this weekend, and to see that military might, to see those F-835s, man, we'll be all right. And for that very reason, we don't need to be apologizing to those countries. We don't need to tell you shit. We shouldn't even be in the Paris Accord. Guess who the number one bankroller of the Paris Accord is? Us. Of course they want us back. Of course they want to spend our money. You ever been to a company party where everything's paid for? People get awfully wasteful, don't they? This fool was sleeping during a climate change meeting. How is that? Climate change is going to kill us all and you dozed off? Oh, man. Like I say, people, we are in trouble. What would they have done if Trump fell asleep during such an important meeting? This affects billions of people, and you evil orange bastard, you fell asleep? That means you hate the world. They would have lost their minds if Trump fell asleep during this meeting. But their boy passes out, they don't give a shit. I couldn't believe it, but I could believe it. This fool's sitting there, now like they tell us, This is important to the entire world, and he's sitting there like this. You mean the content wasn't so riveting that he couldn't stay awake? I can't believe that shit. Oh, dog. Oh, my goodness. How are we going to make it through another 3 years with this fool? You know what? Let him stay asleep. Let him stay asleep. Put a blanket on him. Everybody, exit the room quietly. Turn the lights out, and maybe he'll stay asleep for the next 3 years. And when he wakes up, it'll be 2024, and we won't need his ass anymore. Are you kidding me? You know what? That reminds me of being in boot camp and in the military period. I was in the Navy, of course. As you know, I picked the best branch. And there's one thing you couldn't do. There are multiple things you couldn't do, but this is one of the important ones. The one thing you could not do, especially in boot camp, they would tear your ass apart. The one thing you can't do is fall asleep on watch. You cannot do that. Your fellow soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors, whatever, I don't know what they call the Coast Guard, puddle pirates. But your fellow brothers and sisters in arms are depending on you to keep them safe while they sleep. And you slept too? I've been there. Of course, if you ain't in the Navy, you can't relate to this, but I've been in the engine room, okay? Mid-watch, which is midnight to 4 a.m., the best chunk of sleep you'll ever get. Forget about it. You're on watch. I've been back in the engine room by myself, nice and quiet. Nobody's checking on me. Tired as shit. We had an early reveille at 0300. We worked all the way until 8:30 at night, and I still got to stay up 12 to 4 during the mid-watch in the engine room where there's all these places to hide behind these engines and turbines. There's a hum of the engine. There's steady sound that'll lull your ass to sleep, but I couldn't do it. I brought my knowledge down there to study for promotions or study whatever, tying lines, using a marlin spike, I don't know. But I would stand up and walk around and read so I could stay awake because I could not fall asleep and be found. You will be marked as a piece of shit, and you are, because you're supposed to be watching their back and you passed out. That's what he just did. That old fool passed out on watch. That's a no-no. We shouldn't even be there. But I tell you what, we shouldn't be there. You know who should be there? China and India, 2 dirtiest countries in the world. They don't give a shit. They didn't show up. So what are we doing there? Cleanest damn country in the world. Man, let me get the hell up out of here and get in here with my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Make sure you utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to jerichogreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.